Hello everybody and welcome back to WoW Mods. This week we're dealing a bit with the fallout of COVID-19 into a couple of days into self-imposed isolation. So there's been a bit more time to do work on the mods. There's a couple of things here, as you might have noticed, that look different from the Undercity, but we won't be focusing on these things. These are just some buildings that I've created for the city that will work pretty well with what we want to do. What I do want to show you is, though, is what's behind me. And there it is. So this is a model that Krysik did. This is what we're calling the sort of Lordaeron chapel. There's a couple of like little additional changes that I added onto it just because I wanted some extra. So the model itself is this right here. I added on these tower bits just because I wanted it to look a little bit more sort of like small city, sort of fancy little cathedral type of situation. And so this is what we have on this particular corner of the map. This, of course, is not developed. I haven't touched anything. But here we have the chapel, and the chapel is looking pretty nice. Krysik did an amazing job with it. Really precise for what we wanted it to be, which is something to match the exterior of the old ruins, but at the same time not have it be too undeady. And there's a reason for that. But let's go inside right now and take a look of how it's been decorated. And the awesome thing is that you can bring in your M2s in here and decorate everything yourself. So everything here is not are not like doodad sets that are built into the model, but rather M2s that I myself manually placed inside Nogget. As you can see, I still have to create the green version of this lamp that's going to be hanging from there, which is the only one that's not. So you can see I just tested that, and I completely forgot up until this moment. So forgive me about that, but that's the idea. We'll have a couple of lamps. They'll be green, and they'll be hanging up from there. So this is what currently is. It's sort of like a desecrated holy light chapel. It's in the capital city. It's been taken over, and it's now serving as a place for people who want to learn a bit about the shadow, which is why you have these strange shadow old gaudy type of knickknacks and doodads in here. And it's looking great. I really do love how it's come out, as well as sort of like the I guess the remnants of what was once sort of like a sort of like proud alliance, silver hand, holy light type of place. And that's great. And one of the things that I also want to show you is I want to show you why I wanted specifically to retain certain element and not make this more undead, but rather keep it fairly neutral. The reason is that I think that every resource that we make for the top side of the city, we can use as a reclaimed or a previous version, or a living version is what I mean. So I like to get a lot of utility from the resources that I put into the mods, and in this case I would like them to serve as sort of a living version of a building as well. And to prove to you that works, I'm going to take you to a location that I've made where I've put into place some of the assets for the city, but in a sort of like living environment. So let me take you there right now. All right, and here we are. So this is in the middle of nowhere, obviously, just some development land, and I've brought this up just very roughly just to give you an example of how the building and the textures look outside of like that dark, dreary skybox of the Undercity. And as you can see, yeah, the stone is darker, but it doesn't look any more sinister than just regular rocks. And so you can see it works out pretty well, and everything is very rough here. So don't judge me. I know everything is sort of like misaligned a bit. I sort of threw this together just to see how it would work. I had an idea that it would work. I believe that it does work in this particular fashion. And so here we have the chapel in a sort of very living form. I dressed it up as sort of like a Silver Hand enclave. This is how I would imagine things in the past would look. I will probably use this as the image in the whatchamacallit, you know, the thing that's on the video. I forget what it's called right now. I'm losing my words. So yeah, so this is one of the main reasons why I wanted the buildings that we're making for the Undercity, not the Undercity, the top side of the capital city, to not lean too much on one end, because I wanted them to have sort of like a dual function. And now we come in here, and as you can see, nice, clean, crisp. You have the lamps, as I was telling you, on the ceiling. You have the candelabra up top. Church of the Holy Light, heroes of the Silver Hand, knights, and it's looking great. I'm really happy with it, and I think this will allow us to sort of like look back at or create like a living version of Lordaeron, based on the work that we're doing. So I think I'm really, really satisfied with it, and I hope you all sort of like enjoy it a bit as well. Like I said, this isn't meant to be anything in particular. Like right now, I don't know if I'm going to be turning this into something. Maybe it'll be like an order hall. Maybe I'll instance it. I don't know. But it is an example of what you can do with the models. It's also something that's showcasing Krysik's work, which I think is pretty amazing. I think he did an amazing job of making a larger version of the chapel while still retaining some of the elements of the in-game chapel version. So I'm very happy. I'm very happy with it. I'm happy with the work that he's done, and I think he is really helping me out to make sort of more interesting mods, and that's really, really cool. Right, so I think we'll leave it at there. And we'll be back next week with more stuff. I've had some people send me some of their work through the Discord chat. Remember, if you are interested in joining the Discord chat, there's going to be some information down in the description, or in the description down below. A lot of people are joining. Some people are sending me some of their stuff for their mods, and for me to showcase some of their mods. So yes, if you have sent me your mods, don't worry, I will definitely showcase them. I just haven't gotten around to it. Because I've got sort of like a backlog of projects that I've done and videos that I wanted them to come out. So yeah, so I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all next week. So until then, everybody, take it easy. Bye-bye.